I'm not sure that we had enough runs even at the end, but it was a special moment for him, no question about it. And I know he was happy that he was able to hit one. I was certainly happy for him too.
I think it was great. What led you to put down Martinez starting lineup at the start of the regionals?
You know, we were having some trouble offensively. You know, toward the end of the year, we got stuffed a little bit by Florida, which they stuffed a lot of people with their pitching staff. Drew Pomerantz got us in the SEC tournament. I just felt like we needed a little more energy and liveliness from somebody. And although he was a true freshman, I felt that he was a guy that could do it. He swung the bat really well at times, hadn't been able to play, hadn't played a lot. You know, had some older guys ahead of him, and I just sort of entered him into the lineup, you know, hoping that he would ignite us a little bit. And boy, has he done a super job for us.
And he was playing in South Carolina summer ball?
Yeah, he was playing AAU. He was playing on an AAU team called the Diamond Devils in the state of South Carolina, although it's from Rhode Island.
Right.
And that's how I first saw him. And we thought he was a leadoff hitter. He's one of those guys on base a lot. He played center field, and you know, we looked at him and we thought we had some depth in our outfield, so we actually hesitated a little bit in taking him. We're trying to get him because we felt like, not that we knew he was a good player, but we weren't sure that we needed him. But it was right after I'd hired Coach Holbrook, and we were both on the same recruiting trip, and he said, "Don't let this guy go. He's really special." And I was thinking, I like him, but I don't know if there's room. And Coach Holbrook says, "We got to get this guy." You know, and I said, "Okay."
So now you put him in the lineup to start the regional, and now he's in there definitely. At what point did he become the guy? Sure.
I think really in the first game of the regionals, you know, we were losing 5-1. He hits a 2-run homer, and then in the Citadel game, we're trailing 4-2. He hits a 2-run single to tie the game. I mean, you know, I'm not sure that I would leave him in there all the time against lefties, but you know, he might have earned that at this point.
Coach, the fact that you know, it's such a critical game, the fact that he let off the game with a double there, I mean, that's going to be that may be one of the biggest at-bats of the game.
Well, you know, certainly there's a long way to go from that point on, but there's no question.
Set the tone.
You set the tone. You get a guy at second base with no outs. You have a chance to score in the first inning, which we did. You know, you certainly don't think it's going to stand up, but it's nice to get out front, and then certainly he put us in that position.
How big was it the fact that you guys scored runs in the first 4?
Well, and we didn't get that many hits. We manufactured some runs. We moved some guys over. Morales went the other way. We did some good things in the early going there.
Talk about defensively. You got another spot in the game tonight. You had the one error. But I think Christian Walker's play over first base was a big game.
Well, yeah, some of those bouncers, you know, Haney got one that was drilled at him, and Wingo had a couple of in-between hoppers, Morales. You know, those guys are pretty solid in there, and, you know, they're critical plays for you. Michael made some pitches. He got some sinkers and balls bouncing in the infield, and they were able to make most of the plays.
When did you start to say, okay, he can do it the whole way?
I never even felt. I mean, even to the last out, you know, he was at 100, which, you know, he'd never been there before. But the only thing, I started checking with him in about the 5th, and I said, just tell me about your energy level. I'm not worried about how you're throwing. I want to know how your energy level is. He says, I'm fine. And he mentioned up here about training. Those guys are in good shape. Our strength and conditioning guy and Coach Calvi, we try to be ready to pitch. You know, if you throw 100 pitches, we try to be prepared for 200. And, you know, so you don't wilt. You don't give in. You don't give up. And, you know, physically you got to be able to do it. Whether you're successful or not, that's one thing. But physically you got to be able to withstand it. And I think that's the reason he could stay out there tonight.
Going back to Marzilli, do you recall having a player who really played sparingly during the regular season, but all of a sudden he just explodes in the postseason?
Well, no, not in the same year. I mean, he got a chance to play early because, you know, Jackie was on the shelf, and then Jackie comes back and he doesn't get to play. And then he gets back in there. I mean, that's not an easy role, and he's put up pretty good numbers in that role. So I'm really excited about what he's done for us now, and certainly for the future.
Is there I guess you had a certain idea as to what you're going to do with your pitching staff tonight if it hadn't worked out the way it did. Now, is there another book that the manager goes to for the scenario for tomorrow night?
Well, the first thing I do is I go back and I meet with Coach Calvi and decide how we want to approach it tomorrow, see who we think our freshest guys are. I mean, tonight was simple. We were going to go with Roth early and hope he kept us in the game through 3 or 4. That was the plan. And then we had some relievers we were going to try to match up with, and you know, we're very fortunate to get what we did out of Michael Roth, and it'll be sort of the same thing tomorrow. They're still probably a little bit fresher than we are on the mound. Casey Harmon, I know, is rested, and Sam Dyson would be coming back on short rest, but you know, it's a survive and advance or go home. So we'll try to piece it together.
You said, during games you don't necessarily know what to do at times. Tonight, was it because he was making it so easy for you?
Well, I never felt like it was easy, believe me. But I was pacing a little bit in there, trying to. We had a couple of guys get up, and I was just doing some pacing, trying to think about what we were going to try to do and who we were going to match up with. Parker, Schaefer, Schaus, and how we were going to try to attack them if they got in a position to beat us.
Greg, what was the hunch? What was the hunch tonight? I mean, here's a guy that hasn't started since last April. That pitched him an inning in the third last night.
It really was because of what he's been able to do for us out of the bullpen. He's been a situational lefty, and he's been very effective. And they had 6 lefties in the lineup. We knew they were going to have 5 or 6. And we decided, hey, it's not a relief appearance necessarily, but let's start the game, and maybe through 2 or 3 we're where we need to be. It's a different approach, but it's one we decided to take, and lo and behold, what we got out of him was incredible.
In your wildest dreams, in all the years you've been coaching, could you have ever expected that?
Absolutely not. And I love Michael Roth. I have tremendous confidence in him. But to get what we did tonight, I would have, 4 or 5 innings maybe, but to do what he did was really a performance for the record books.
As that game was progressing, were you thinking that in your many years of coaching, that's among the better performances?
I was. I mean, regardless of what happened, regardless of when he went out, regardless if he hit a grand slam and beat us, it was a very impressive performance. He put us in a position to win, and he stayed there.
Coach Michael said he approached this just like it was a relief thing before the game. What do you tell him as a coach going into this game?
The thing that I said before the game, and we did ride down on the elevator together, going to the bus, I said, be who you are, pitch like you always pitch. You just happen to be starting the game, but it's the same thing. You go out and pitch, and you're going to face some lefties and do the best you can, and we'll try to win the game at some point for you.
Seems like he has a great temperament.
He really does. He's a very confident young man. He's extremely intelligent. He's our top student. He believes in his ability. And the truth of the matter is, he'd rather be playing first base than hitting fourth. And he will get a chance to hit for us next year. But we got him to accept his role as a situational guy from the left side, and his numbers, his appearances, 34, 35 appearances on the year. He's been very, very key to us winning as many games as we have.
You had to like the way you got off to a good start tonight, and the game of this magnitude, and you just looked like you were ready to play.
Well, we got the double from Marzilli to start the game. We manufactured a run there. We threw up single runs in the first 4 innings, and we didn't hit it extremely well, but we were able to push some runs across. But with Clemson's offense, that's not going to be enough. We were just fortunate that he pitched as great as he did. They have a potent attack offensively, and for him to have that kind of game was tremendous.